What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Sunday edition. It is July 13th. It is the final video before the All-Star break, which I cannot believe we're already here, but we are already here. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you did well on Saturday, Friday, whatever. If this is the first time you've been here, welcome to the channel. Here's why we are different than the other providers out there. I'll call them that. I'll say competitors, providers. We go through every game. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go game by game. We're going to do the 11-game main slate. Then we're going to do the 4-game afternoon slate. We're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to look at the batters. We're going to use outlier. In each game, we are going to give you our top 3 batters from each team in each game. If there are certain teams that we like to maybe stack a little bit more, we're going to give you upwards of 5 or 6 if we like multiple different stacks with that team. On top of that, we have giveaways every single day, and here's how you can win. You got super easy, super simple. You got to like this video, you got to be a subscriber to this channel, and you got to leave a comment on this video. Do not spam the comments. But if you do all that, and this video right here gets at least 50 likes, you will have a shot at a free week of FTA+. Now, that is a week of all sports. So today we've got MLB and NASCAR, current sports, MLB, NASCAR, PGA, and MMA. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you'll have a chance at a free month, 150 likes, a free year, 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. Second way to win. Somewhere in this video, there'll be a keyword or a key phrase. Listen for it, type it in, and have another shot at a free week. Second way to win. Somewhere in the video, there'll be a keyword or a key phrase. Be on the lookout, type it in, and have a second shot there. So, that being said, you guys absolutely killed it on Saturday's edition, and it's normally we got to hit those views and likes by the first, the main slate locking, which was at noon on Saturday. Over 1,000 views, 30 comments, over 100 likes. So right now, even if the keyword is in this one, we're still going to re-roll it. This is just for getting 100 likes. So this free month winner is Cortez45. Congratulations. Now the keyword was tornado. We're still going to re-roll it for that keyword. So you still have a 1 in 30 shot to get that as a secondary win. So it's been a while since we've had someone win both the views and the keyword. But Cortez, you're on the clock. Let's see if we can win it here. The winner of the keyword is Brian Tate. Back-to-back days, Brian has won. That is exactly what we're trying to do. Come back every single day, leave comments on the videos, see if you can win. Now, our record, I believe, for wins in a row is it's either 5 or 6 days in a row that someone won either the keyword or the video views winner. So both of you, please email me. You know the drill. If you are the video views winner, put that in the subject line. Brian, since you are the keyword winner, you know the drill. Just tell me you're the 712 keyword winner. So congratulations to both of you. Both of you email me and let's rock and roll. So we're going to use outlier.bet, which we're going to break it down. So if you've never seen it before, hopefully you're in for a treat there. If you need other advice after this video, you can go to here. Go check out everything we have under the sun here. We got a cheat sheet with plays at each position. Maybe I'll show you that at the end of this video. So stick around, just kind of get a preview of FTA+. A week is only $10. So if you purchase a week today, you're going to get a week. You're going to MLB today, and then you'll get MLB for next weekend since it's the All-Star break. You'll get PGA on Thursday. You'll get MMA on Saturdays. You'll get NASCAR on Sundays as well. So we're going to dig right in. We're going to jump. We're going to look. After we go through every single game, we are then going to do our matchup tool. So we're going to give you all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through 10,000 simulations. I've already ran the 10,000 sims in the background, and this is kind of our first look at all of the games through 10,000 sims. After that, we're going to do pitches be crazy. And then finally, we'll do our Makin bacon bets. We are going to look at some of the batters we like to get 2+ bases today, and then we're going to look at some of the pitchers, and we're going to look at the targets of strikeouts that we might want to look at. Whether or not you use that for DFS or sports betting, that is up to you, but buckle up, sit down, let's have a fantastic last Sunday of the first half, which is already wild to say, of the 2025 MLB season. So let's go. Let's look at it. We got the first game. So we do have some weather concern here. We got Baltimore weather concern, Cincy weather concern with rain. That's it. And St. Louis, again, kind of the same what we saw on Saturday, but hopefully we are ready to rock and roll with it. So looking at this, we are going to use Outlier. We're going to look at the first one, and we're going to dig in for you. So we got Eury Perez, who we know has struggled this season, does come in with a 4 ERA, 2-2 record. Game log is coming off back-to-back really good starts, one in Cincy, which didn't make sense because that ball loves to fly out of there. 5 innings, 8 Ks. Maybe he's back. Minnesota at Miami. Against Minnesota, 6 innings, 7 Ks in that. He also had 6 Ks in the game against Atlanta where they did end up losing 7-0. So we look at that. Eury Perez, great numbers here. We know Baltimore does struggle this year. We've seen it. He's only faced 2 batters, so he really hasn't seen them at all. You look at his splits. You can't really go off splits because home and away, I mean, he's got a 4.96 on the road, but it's 4 starts. So he's got 6 starts total. Obviously missed some time coming back. I do like Eury Perez here. Now, this is, I guess, the difference between us and other DFS channels. I'll let you guys know if I'm right or wrong. I'll admit when we're wrong. I have been wrong in the past. I do like Eury Perez today. Let's get through the first half of this. Then you got Brandon Young. Comes in with a 6 ERA. Did come off a good start against the Mets. 5.1 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks. What we're looking for, at least on DraftKings, since we have 2 pitchers, we're looking for 25 to 30 fantasy points per pitcher, ideally in a perfect scenario, minimum as a floor. Fanduel, about 40 to 50 is what you're looking at. Now, Brandon Young, I know Miami's Miami, but I don't know if I trust him enough. He's 5,500, so you throw him in a tournament, sure, if you're making multiple lineups, but I don't know if I trust that at all. Brandon Young's never faced them before, but then this is where we dig in and we look at Outlier. So Miami against righties, they're pretty good. You can see the more green than red. If I were to pick 3 players here, Jesus Sanchez is probably my number 1. Kyle Stowers is probably my number 2, batting 272 with 16 bombs. I'm probably looking Xavier Edwards batting 305. No home runs, but does have a 305 batting average against righties. Now, if you're not going to go Eury Perez and you're going to go Baltimore bats, against righties, they've been pretty good. Gunnar Henderson batting over 300 with 9 bombs I would look at. Jackson Holliday, 263 with 10 bombs. Ryan O'Hearn, another one I would look at, 303 batting average with 11 home runs. I mean, there's other ones like Laureano batting over 300 you could switch in. Now, Sundays, especially, days of rest for some people, some teams. Being an all-star break, they might not do that, but they might give some all-stars an extra day of rest before they head off to Atlanta to the all-star game. So we look at that. Maybe be cautious when you're building your lineups. I do like Eury Perez in this game. I just don't see me using Brandon Young at all today. Next game we're going to look at Tampa Bay at Boston. We got Pepio versus Bayo. Both are averaging less than the 20 fantasy points we would need, but we'll take what we can get. Boston right now strikes out the 3rd most out of any team. So Pepio has been a stud this year, and we look at him. I don't mind him either. 3.32 ERA, 6-6 record. Game log coming off not the best against Detroit. They are a very good team. Did have a minus 6.45 against Baltimore. Did pitch against Boston here, put up 20.55. He's already pitched twice this year. This is the problem. He's 0-2 against Boston this year. 14 hits allowed in 11 innings, 9 earned runs, does have 17 Ks. In the one game log here against Boston, did give up 3 earned runs, but put up 20 fantasy points. But then when we go back down here, he did give up 6 earned runs in one game. He's obviously gotten better since the beginning of the season. So if people are looking at this, I could see that. But I do like Pepio in this situation. And then Bayo comes in. Now this is where I'll tell you we're either right or wrong. We did use him against Colorado because Colorado at the time was the 2nd biggest strikeout team behind LA. They've now flipped. Now Colorado strikes out the most out of any team. Bayo absolutely dominated. 38.55 his last start. We used him. He complete game out of him. Splits-wise against Tampa Bay, 6.1 innings, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, only 4 Ks. Really hasn't done much against them. 10.85. That was at Boston. This is at Boston again. So if you look at the splits, when he pitches at home, he's got a 3.38. So I could see you using him. If you were to twist my arm and say only pick one pitcher, it's Pepio for me in this one. But we can look at the bats on both sides as well. So looking at the game, I'm probably going Pepio more than Bayo, but Bayo's okay as well. If you aren't going Bayo and you want to look at the batters, Josh Lowe does have a home run against him. Matt Theis has a home run against him. I probably wouldn't use him. I don't even know if he starts. Against right-handed pitching, though, this year, Tampa Bay's been pretty good. Jonathan Rana batting .331 with 11 bombs. Caminero batting .261 with 18 bombs. Yandy Diaz batting over .305 with 10 bombs. You do have Kim at .357, but again, he just came back, so he's only got 14 at-bats. Another one is Jake Mangum, .324 batting average, 2 home runs. So I think people might be on Bayo. I think Tampa Bay could be sneaky. Now, this isn't in Tampa Bay where it's a minor league ballpark, so definitely pay attention there. Pepio, like Trevor Story, has 2 home runs. Duran has 1 home run. Bregman has 1 home run. Against right-handed pitching, though, Rafaela batting .280 with 7 bombs. Toro batting .282 with 5 bombs. Wilyer Abreu batting .263 with 17. I like these guys. You could also maybe throw in Yoshida. I don't know if Masataka will be in there. That's definitely one to look at. Or maybe a Duran or Roman Anthony as well. But personally, I'm probably going Tampa Bay bats over Boston pitching if you think about it. So if I'm looking, I'm going Pepio probably at the top. Bayo, I'll have a little bit of exposure, but I kind of, whatever reason, I'm feeling Tampa Bay and Pepio in this game. Chicago at the Yankees is the next game. We saw the Yankees dominate and Carlos Rodon dominate on Friday. We saw Matt Boyd throw 8 innings of dominant ball. Max Fried left with a blister issue. So Cubs ended up winning, I think it was 5-2. So it's the rubber match. It's a battle, another lefty that the Yankees are facing, Amanaga versus Will Warren. So Amanaga obviously came back. This will be his 3rd start since coming back, or technically his 4th start since coming back. He had over a month off. Coming back, he did hit value against St. Louis, 20.5. Then he had 15 against Cleveland, which is okay, but at his price, no. And then 8.5 against Minnesota. So he struggled a little bit coming back. Yankees overall, they can hit. It just depends if they're going to see another Matt Boyd type game this week or today or not. Then you got Will Warren. He has struggled this season, 4.7 ERA. Strikeouts are okay. They've been down the past couple of games. Against Toronto, -7.4. We did use him against Seattle last week because Seattle strikes out the 5th most out of any team. Put up 21.15, only 4 Ks, but gave up no earned runs in that. They ended up winning that game 10-3. So we look at this splits-wise. He has not faced the Cubs. When he pitches at home, he does have a much better ERA of 2.96 at home for whatever reason. Now, I don't know. You could even go as far as to look at day and night game splits or afternoon splits. Those are somewhere. We don't have that information here. That's just a lot. It's something you could look at. Warren still has 111 strikeouts on the year. The Cubs offense, they showed up yesterday. They did not show up on Friday. So which one are we going to get? That is the thing. I think both pitchers are probably tournament only for me. I don't think I trust them in cash enough. If I'm looking at bats on both sides, Cubs bats against righties this year, like Michael Busch batting .309, I would look at. PCA batting .306. Kyle Tucker batting .288. I would look at those 3. Carson Kelly's always up there as well if you need one. Yankees bats against Amanaga. Paul Goldschmidt does have a home run, obviously with the Cardinals last year. But Belly batting .374 against lefties. Jason Dominguez got the day off. I don't know why. If Dominguez is leading off, I do like him leading off. We'll have to wait to see. Goldie batting .416 against lefties. Obviously, Aaron Judge batting over .350 with 11 bombs. I would look at them. Just depends. Jazz is another one. I know it's a lefty on lefty matchup, but I don't mind him either. So I am definitely looking at both pitchers for tournaments. I don't think I trust them in cash, but I do like both offenses. It just depends on which ones are going to show up. So then we have Colorado at Cincy. It is a ballpark that the ball flies out of there. There is rain concern. It's Nick Martinez versus Austin Gomber. I don't want anything to do with Gomber at all. Martinez for tournaments, I'm okay with. The Colorado Rockies are the team that strikes out the most. They strike out 9.73 times per game. Rain being a concern, it's definitely something to monitor. But outside of that, I'm probably just looking at the bats on both sides, especially with weather being a concern. Not 100% sure where it's going to go. So we need to look at that. But looking at bats here, against Nick Martinez, no one has a home run for Colorado. But against righties this year, Hunter Goodman batting .289 with 12 bombs I would look at. Ryan McMahon, .214 batting average with 11 bombs I would look at. Tyler Freeman, if he gets in there, against righties this year in 104 plate appearances, .385 batting average. If one of them's out and you want to do a different one, Mickey Moniak batting 195 at-bats, batting 262 with double-digit home runs. I'm all for Mickey Moniak as well. If he's in there, I don't know if he'll start, but he'll be a cheaper option. Cincy against Gomber, Espinal does have a home run. That's the only. Tyler Stevenson also. Against lefties, they're actually not the best. Austin Hayes, though, batting 366 with a home run. You could look at him. Espinal batting 300. Tyler Stevenson batting 268 with 2 bombs. That's okay. We could look at that. Now, they did just send down Christian Encarnacio Strand, so that is definitely one to look at. Connor Joe normally, when he was with, was he with the Pirates? Connor Joe used to be on the Rockies. We used to take him against lefties all the time. He used to hit very well against lefties. If he gets in there, I don't mind him. He's only batting 154 against them this year. But anytime the Rockies were there and you wanted to get a Coors game in there, Connor Joe was a little bit more of a cheaper option. I always took him against lefties. Numbers don't look good right now, but that could always change in this one. I do not trust either side. Pitching, the bats could be sneaky with Colorado today. But again, they do strike out the most, so that is definitely something to look at. Seattle at Detroit. Seattle, they obviously got swept by the Yankees. They have had Detroit's number first 2 games of this series. You got Logan Gilbert versus Jack Flaherty. Now, Gilbert coming in. We look at this. Not a good start against the Yankees. And we stacked the Yankees against him. He put up 5 earned runs for us. Or they put up 5 runs against him. Against Kansas City, 18.9. He has not hit value since June 16th, so basically almost a month since he's hit the value. He's going about 5 innings, so they're pulling him. He's going upwards of 80 to 90 to 100 pitches. He's just not being as effective as we are used to. He's already faced Detroit once this year, 5 innings, 3 earned runs, but did have 10 Ks in that start. When he pitches on the road, he's of 6.64 ERA. Now, I know Seattle's had the number. Flaherty has struggled this year, too. So he comes in with a 4.7 ERA. He's coming off a great start against Tampa Bay. Okay start against Washington. Mid start against the Athletics. But against Tampa Bay, minus 10.7. Splits-wise, he has not faced Seattle this year. Seattle strikes out the 5th most out of any team. When he pitches at home, he does have a 3.72. So he has been better at home. But Seattle's just had their number for whatever reason the first 2 games of this series. They put up a ton of runs. They got to Scooble. They got early and often on Saturday, and now we look. So if you don't trust either pitcher, which is fine, Flaherty, Mastrobuoni has a home run, Randy Arozarena has a home run, Arozarena hit one on Saturday. Against right-handed pitching, J.P. Crawford batting 313, Donovan Solano batting 339. Cal Raleigh needs 2 home runs to hit 40 before the All-Star break. That's definitely something you can look at. He's not going to win MVP. Cal Raleigh's not going to win MVP. So, that's the key phrase today. Cal Raleigh not winning MVP. So looking at those, I would still use Raleigh. I would still use Solano. Cheap. I don't know if he'll be in there, though. Canzone's a cheap option. Luke Raley could be a cheap option. They've just put up a ton of runs. Crawford is another one I'd look at. Detroit bats against Gilbert. He's already had success against them. No one has a home run against him. Against right-handed pitching, though, if I'm looking, probably Riley Green batting 306, Colt Keith batting 284, Dylan Dingler batting 263 is where I'd go in this game. Next game, Cleveland at the White Sox. It's going to be cloudy, but hopefully the rain holds off, and there is no rain at all. Not the best pitching matchup. It's Cantillo versus Savale. Both are averaging less than 8 fantasy points a game. Both are under 7K. I'm not using either for cash. I could see you going either for tournaments, but this just feels like one of those games where I don't know if I want to have any exposure to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to avoid this game. If I am using any bats, it's Cleveland, it's J-Ram, it's Manzardo, it's Stephen Kwan. That's pretty much the only thing I want in this game. Could this game go off? It could. They could have a bunch of runs. I just don't want anything to do with it. We have so many other games we can look at, so many better pitching matchups. We don't need to worry about that game. So we're going to move to Texas at Houston. We're going to look at Hunter Brown versus Nate Eovaldi. Both are having great years. I like both of these pitchers here. I think both are in a great spot. Offensive-wise, I'm not looking at offenses right now. I'm looking at both of these pitchers. Obviously, Hunter Brown is the stud. He was in the I guess I haven't seen the ERA race lately. He is coming off a bad start here against Cleveland, 6 earned runs in 6 innings. Obviously not ideal. Splits-wise, he's faced Texas once this year, went 8 innings in that game, 1 earned run, 9 Ks. Texas's offense is one of those where when they are off, they're not hitting. Evaldi coming in. Splits-wise, he's faced Houston once, 5.2 innings, 5 Ks, 3 walks, no earned runs. Kind of what I just feel. I could be wrong. I'm expecting a lower scoring game here. I like both pitchers. I don't want offense here. There's other offenses we can look at. So Texas, Houston, I both love Brown and Evaldi when we're building our lineups today. Pittsburgh at Minnesota is the next game. You got Keller versus Simeon Woods Richardson. So Mitch Keller coming in, does have a 3.58 ERA, does have a 3-10 record because Pittsburgh's offense is atrocious, 89 strikeouts. For his price at 18, I don't mind that. Obviously, we want to see 20, 25, 30 out of your pitcher, kind of like what he did against St. Louis. He went 7 innings, 7 Ks, 29.55. Splits-wise, he has not faced Minnesota this year. You've got Mitch Keller on the road this year, 3.09 ERA. So he has been better on the road. Now, Minnesota can hit. They put up runs. Byron Buxton just put up hit for the cycle on Saturday. Then you got SWR. You got 20.25 against the Cubs. He's only 6,400 against Pittsburgh. That's okay. Obviously, doesn't face them a lot. 22 plate appearances, a 350 batting average against him. His last 10 games, he's got a 3.83 ERA. He's averaging only 13 fantasy points. But at 6,400, I could take a flyer out on him. When he pitches at home, he's got a 3.28, so he is better at home. Pirates are a bad offensive team this year. I'm probably looking at Simeon Woods Richardson. I'm probably looking at Minnesota bats against Keller. So if I'm looking at Minnesota bats, it's Byron Buxton if he plays. It's Trevor Larnach if he plays. Get in there with a little bit of Brooks Lee. Get in there, just depending. We can look real quick. Again, it's Sunday before the All-Star break. I don't know what teams are going to sit who. But if we're looking at Minnesota bats against Keller, no one has a home run. But if we're looking against righties, like, Cody Clemens had a big home run on Saturday, I would look at him. Ty France. You could look at Harrison Bader, Trevor Larnach. Buxton is in there as well. Those are probably, I do like a Tampa Bay or a Minnesota stack here against Pittsburgh today. Washington at Milwaukee is the next game. You got Peralta versus Jake Irvin. So Peralta's averaging 19, Irvin coming in 11.9. Peralta just faced the Dodgers. His last start put up 27.9. We used Peralta there with the Dodgers getting swept. 6 innings, 7 Ks in that one. 22.5 against New York Mets in a major league ballpark of a pitcher's duel there. So you've got Peralta on the road. Does have a 3.91 ERA, so he is worse on the road, unfortunately. Has not faced Washington this year. So him being that much worse on the road in one more start kind of does scare me a little bit. I think a lot of people are going to be on him. But on the road, he has 25 walks compared to 11 at home, 56 Ks compared to 55, 9 home runs compared to 3 at home. So he's just worse on the road. At 10K, like, he could have a great game. That's his home road splits, they do scare me. Then you got Jake Irvin coming in. Really hasn't done much. At all. Did have a good game against the Dodgers, which makes no sense to me. Splits-wise, when Irvin is on the road, he's got a 5.81. So I'm probably avoiding the pitching in this one and just going complete bats, offensive-wise, for both sides. Now, Peralta's a stud. I get that. But I think I'd rather pay up for other pitchers today than Peralta because his numbers on the road, they just aren't as good as they are at home. So Washington against him, Paul DeJong has 2 home runs. Josh Bell has a home run. That is it. But if you look against righties this year, Nate Lowe batting .254 with 13 bombs. I would look at him. I would look at James Wood. I would look at C.J. Abrams. I would take a look at Luis Garcia. And if you wanted to go a full stack, a Brady House, who had a home run on Saturday, could be a cheap option. I don't know if he'll start, though. That's the problem. Paul DeJong could be a cheap option, too. Again, those two, not 100% sure if those guys will start. Milwaukee bats against Irvin. William Contreras does have 2 home runs. I would look at William Contreras. I would look at Christian Yelich. I would look at Sal Frelick, Jackson Churio. And if I'm doing a full 5-man stack, Bryce Terang is probably the other one there. Another cheap option could be Andrew Vaughn, who's been pretty good since getting traded over to Milwaukee for Aaron Savale after he cried about being moved to the bullpen. So I'm probably avoiding the pitching in this one. Peralta is just a little bit too expensive compared to how he's pitched on the road. That does scare me a little bit. So then the Mets at the Royals is the next game. We got Juan Soto, who's had back-to-back starts with home runs. Problem is now Clay Holmes is opening, which kind of what I expected to be the season because he's not a starter. He's done well news-wise. So hasn't completed 6 innings since June 7th and could be tiring in his first season as a full-time starter. He is expected to handle smaller workloads Sunday in Kansas City. That's kind of what I expect. You wouldn't be able to use either of those pitchers. Manaea coming off the IL is what I would look at. Noah Cameron coming in. We used him his last start, got us 27.35 against Pittsburgh. Absolutely dominated Pittsburgh. The Mets are a great hitting team. When Cameron pitches at home, he's got a 3.93 compared to the road. That scares me a little bit. He has, he had some really good games, was having a good season. Then he faced the Yankees, put up 7.95 in the game I was supposed to be at. No big deal. Had a good game against Athletics, and it's kind of been up and down. He does pitch worse at home. You can't trust which New York Mets pitcher is going to go, so you're probably just here to look for bats. I don't think I trust either of the pitchers. So looking at them, we're going to take a little gander. I'm probably off both pitchers. I'm probably looking at the bats. If I am looking at Mets bats, Soto batting .268 with 4 bombs against lefties this year. He's also hit back-to-back games with home runs in the stadium. I'm looking at him. I'd look at Jeff McNeil batting .290. I'm probably looking at Lindor, Pete Alonso as well. Mark Vientos is another one that I don't think a lot of people will be on. I might use him. And again, it just depends. Ronnie Mauricio actually is only batting .111, but might be a sneaky option there, just depending on what Mets lineup we get out here before the All-Star break. Kansas City bats against Clay Holmes / Sean Manaea, like Sal Perez has a home run against right-handed pitching. And this is the difference. This is where you see him against righties if it's Clay Holmes, but then you can come to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, MLB tab, come to MLB left-handed batter splits. So then we look at how the batters hit against lefties because Sean Manaea coming in. And then it could just be a bullpen day as well. We don't really 100% know. But if I were to be using bats here, Pasquantino I would look at. Kyle Isbell could be a cheap option. Bobby Witt Jr. is obviously a cheap option. Sal Perez I would look at as well. So I'm probably avoiding the pitching in this one. It's going to be cloudy and overcast, but with 2 different pitchers that we know of right now with an opener and a long relief, then the bullpen for the Mets. You can't really use either of those because as an opener, we don't know if he's going to go 1 inning or 2 and get the value you need, especially at 7,200. He's still priced as a starting pitcher where he's an opener today. So that's definitely one where he's outpriced for me. Manaea, don't trust him coming off the IL. Don't trust that. And then Cameron at home has not been good. Even in a pitcher's ballpark, he has not been good at home. And then the final game of the main slate, we got the Braves at the Cardinals. Rain being a concern. We got Sonny Gray versus, who is this? Daniel. I was going to say Davis Daniel. Hasn't pitched since April 27th. I want to see if this has been confirmed that it is not confirmed that it is him, so it's kind of hard to go off of that. Sonny Gray, we used him his last start. 19.65 was not enough at 9,700. It's been a couple of starts since he's had a good game. He's going up against the Braves in his career. 80 plate appearances, a .243 batting average, has struck out 23.8% of the Braves batters that he has faced in his career. Daniel, it's not 100% confirmed, so I can't go off of that. But let's look at the bats just to see what maybe we have going on. Pitching-wise, and the only problem is with Outlier, when one of the pitchers is not confirmed, the game is not on Outlier yet. So I'm using Baseball Savant to look at the pitchers or the bats on both sides. So if we're looking at the Braves bats against Sonny Gray, who we can always be okay with. Jurickson Profar's 2 for 13 with a home run. Marcell Ozuna is 5 for 16 with a double and 3 home runs facing his former team. Ozzie Albies 2 for 16. Acuna 2 for 9 with a double. Michael Harris 3 for 3 with a double there as well. If we're looking at St. Louis bats, I would look at Burleson. I would look at Contreras if he's in there. I would look at Brendan Donovan for my 3. Again, though, we don't know if it's going to be a righty pitcher, lefty pitcher, or what is going on. So I don't mind Sonny Gray, but his price is up there. And if you look at his splits, when he pitches at home, does have a 2.83, so he's better at home in 11 starts. That's definitely something to look at. Rain being a concern. Hopefully it doesn't start raining, and then they play the game, and then they get a delay, and then we get screwed if we do pay $9,700 for Sonny Gray in that game. So that's the main slate completed, all 11 games. We're now going to move over to this afternoon slate of 4 games for you for the last slate of the first half of this season. So Toronto at the Athletics. This is a minor league ballpark. We know this. The ball loves to fly out of there. Jeffrey Springs pitching at home, and we'll definitely see it. So you look at his splits. When he pitches at home, he's got a 4.30 ERA. He's already faced Toronto once this year, 2 innings, 6 earned runs. Game log wise, that came back on, where was that at? 5:30, where he got minus 10.7. So not an ideal situation. His splits at home are better, but they're still they're worse, and they're 4.30 with the ball flying out of here. I don't trust Jeffrey Springs. Now, you want to throw him in tournaments because everyone's going to stack Toronto. I get that. I don't think this is a game where you get cute with that. Then Barrios comes in. He's coming off a great game against the White Sox. You're supposed to. Bad game against the Yankees. Great game against Boston. Great game against the White Sox again. You look at splits. He's already faced the Athletics once this year. 6 innings, 9 Ks. Okay. Ideal? Yes. Ballpark? This is not the best ballpark for him. When he pitches on the road, he does have a 2.85, but he's not pitched in this ballpark yet. The ball flies out of there, especially if if it's hot and humid in there in Sacramento, and the ball flies out of there. That's definitely a problem. I'm probably avoiding both pitchers. I'm probably going to just go bats instead of pitching. So looking at the games, or the batters for Toronto against Springs, Clement has a home run. Guerrero has a home run. That is it. But against lefties this year, Taylor Heineman batting 448. Again, it's only 29 at bats, so it's a very small sample size. Ernie Clement batting 396. George Springer batting 219. Kind of slowed down a little bit, but he has 5 home runs. I would use those guys. There's always Alejandro Kirk or Addison Barger. Athletics against Barrios. Butler does have a home run. But against right-handers, you can see they are absolutely smashing against right-hander pitching this year. Butler with double-digit home runs. Soderstrom with double-digit home runs. Nick Kurtz with double-digit home runs. I would look at those guys. There's also Jacob Wilson you could look at. I don't know if you want to go down to Denzel Clark or Brent Rooker. I am okay with that as well. So looking at the next game here. Dodgers at the Giants. Dodgers have been sliding and struggling a little bit recently, which we love to see. You got Yamamoto versus Robbie Ray. So Yamamoto coming in, he's over $10,000, coming off a very bad start against Milwaukee, minus 8.1. Now, obviously, before that, he put up 31.35 against the White Sox, which you're supposed to do, and 26.05 in Coors, which we were scared to use, but he went 5 innings in that game. Only lasted 0.2 innings against the Brewers. Now, he's already faced San Francisco once this year. 4.2 innings, 5 earned runs, 5 walks, 4 Ks. Struggled in that one. Still, somehow, he's an all-star. But, I mean, he's got a 2.77 ERA. When he pitches on the road, he's got a 2.12 ERA. Now, this is a pitcher's ballpark. San Francisco has just had his number as well. Robbie Ray coming off a great start at Arizona, complete game. Which we did use, but I was a little bit cautious on because it's in Arizona. But if you looked at the numbers and we crunched them 5 days ago, Arizona stinks against left-handed pitching. So you look at the Dodgers. He has not faced the Dodgers this year, which, okay, we'll look at that. He's got a great ballpark to pitch in, which we do love to see. In his career against the Dodgers, 83 plate appearances, a 250 batting average, 27.7 K percentage, 9.6 walk rate, so the walks are up there a little bit. But you look at his numbers, when he pitches at home, he does have a better ERA of 2.57 in 9 starts, both at home, both on the road, both good numbers there. Now, the Dodgers, they can hit. We know this. When they are on, they are on. So let's say you're not using either pitcher and you want to look at the bats. That's completely fine as well. We can look at that here. So if we look at that, Dodgers bats against Ray. Will Smith does have a home run against him, but only batting 154. Miguel Rojas has a home run. That is it. Against lefties, though, they are hitting lefties well. Ohtani, 295 batting average with 6 bombs. Pajes has batting over 304. Teoscar Hernandez, we love T.O. against lefties. 356 batting average with 5 home runs. Those are probably my top 3. Another one's probably going to be Will Smith. Doesn't have good numbers against him. Or Mookie Betts if I were going in that situation. San Francisco bats against Yamamoto. Schmidt has a home run. Matos has a home run. And Willy Adames has a home run. You look against right-handed pitching. Willy Adames batting 249 with 9 bombs. Wilmer Flores batting 252 with 8 bombs. I'm okay with. You got Elliot Ramos batting 273 with 11 bombs. Mike Yastrzemski 275 with 7 home runs. I'm okay with that. We know that Yamamoto is a stud. He hasn't had success against him this year, and he's coming off his worst start. It might be of his career, at least Major League Baseball career. Looking at that, we will see. If I'm using a pitcher, I'm probably trusting Robbie Ray a little bit more. You are going to save $500 going Robbie Ray. It is a pitcher's ballpark, though, so like both pitchers could have a great game. I personally might take a little bit of savings and go with Robbie Ray. Then we've got Arizona at L.A. We've got Merrill Kelly, who is day-to-day. Now, is he day-to-day now? He is on Baseball Savant like he's going to start. Let's see news. Right calf discomfort. So, whatever. Good for him, I guess. Did get pulled. 7 innings in that game. Gave up 1 earned run, 4 Ks, 19.35. The Angels do strike out the second most out of any team, so you could use that information. Splits-wise, when he pitches on the road, he does have a slightly better ERA of 3.38. So it's been up and down for him. He has not faced the Angels this year. In his career, 54 plate appearances, a 140 batting average. Soriano, I don't trust him. Terrible start against Texas. Great start against the Braves. Terrible start against Washington. Great start against Houston. Splits-wise, when he pitches at home, he does have a worse ERA of 6.07. This game is in L.A. Arizona can hit lefty or righties better. That's probably where I'm looking at. So if I'm looking at this game, I'm 100% looking. I'll take Merrill Kelly a little bit, but I like Arizona bats. So Eugenio Suarez has a home run. But then against righties this year, Ketel Marte batting 312 with 15 bombs. Josh Naylor I would get in there. I would also get Corbin Carroll, 257 with 18 bombs, and Suarez, 267 with 21 bombs there. And if you want a fifth one, Perdomo, I don't mind Perdomo. If you're going to fade Merrill Kelly and you're going to go Angels bats, Lamont Wade does have 2 home runs against him, but batting 171. But you can see they love to hit against righties. And if his calf is a problem, then the bullpen comes in. And then it's just a bullpen day. So if I'm stacking here, I'm probably looking at Zach Neto, 291 with 11 bombs. Joe Adele, 241 with 15 bombs. Mike Trout, 236 with 15 bombs. Be my top 3. If you want a full stack, I'm going probably Nolan Schanuel and Taylor Ward. But if maybe one of those are out and Lamont Wade Jr. is in, I would look at Lamont Wade Jr. just because he has success. Logan O'Hoppe also only batting 216 against righties this year, but does have 13 bombs. So we look at that. Those would be the bats that I use. I will have a little bit of exposure to Merrill Kelly. I don't love it, and I don't know how much exposure I will. And then the final game of the first half, we got Nick Pivetta versus Christopher Sanchez. You got the Phillies visiting San Diego. It is a pitcher's ballpark. Sanchez has been a stud this year, 69 plate appearances in his career against the Pods, 206 batting average, 26.1 K percentage. Then we look at Nick Pivetta. 106 plate appearances against the Phillies, 23.6 K percentage, but has given up a 283 batting average. Both of these guys right around the same price. Both are averaging right around 20 fantasy points a game. Nick Pivetta, we'll just look at the numbers. Splits-wise, he's faced Philly once this year, 6 innings, 1 earned run, 6 Ks. That came back 2 starts ago, 23.3. When he pitches at home, he does have a better ERA of 230. And then Christopher Sanchez. Splits-wise, San Diego, 7 innings, 1 earned run, 5 Ks. Came in that same start. Both of them had great starts there. I think this could be a low-scoring game as well. I do love both pitchers for cash and tournament. So while I'll have both pitchers, we obviously kind of want to look at just the bats just in case. Let's see how they've had success. So Philly against Pivetta. Bryce Harper batting 357 against them with 2 bombs. Max Kepler with 400 batting average with a home run. Kyle Schwarber, 1 for 6 with a home run. Against right-handed pitching this year, Real Muto batting .307 with 5 bombs I would look at. Bohm batting .284 with 5 bombs. Bryce Harper batting .259 with 5. I mean, cheaper options if you don't want to pay up for like Trey Turner, Bryson Stott like that. You look at Castellanos, you could look at Kepler, you could look at Marsh. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, so I don't know if I'll have much exposure. San Diego bats against Christopher Sanchez. Iglesias does have a home run, and so does Tatis. But against lefties, they don't actually hit lefties very well this year. Maldonado, .282 batting average. Bogarts batting .294, but I don't trust him. Machado batting .269 with 10 bombs. I'd look at that. I mean, Tatis only has 2 home runs against lefties, does have 1 against Sanchez. I like the pitching more than I like the bats. And there you have it. That is the breakdown of both the main slate and the afternoon slate for you. I know it's a longer video, but it is a last Sunday of the first half, as I've only said a couple of times. We are now going to go over our matchup tool. Now, these are all of the batters that have a current rank of 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Now, these are through 10,000 sims before the main slate locks. Every single time we run 20,000 sims for everything, so projection simulations and everything. So these are all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10. There's not very many, which is actually surprising considering there's 15 games going on. But here we go. Number 1 is Kyle Tucker. Number 2 is Bobby Witt Jr. 3 is Jose Ramirez. 4 is Josh Lowe. 5 is Alejandro Kirk. 6 is Christian Yelich. 7 is Vlad Guerrero. 8, Juan Soto. 9, Stephen Kwan. 10, Tyler Freeman. 11, William Contreras. 12, Carlos Santana. 13, Geraldo Perdomo. And 14, Paul Goldschmidt. So we got 14 right now through 10,000 sims. The record is 38. I don't think we'll ever beat that, ever. So doing pitches be crazy. Now, what we're doing here is we're looking at the 5 pitchers on the slate today that go against the bottom 5 teams that strike out the most. So we've got Nick Martinez versus the Rockies. The Rockies strike out the most out of any team, 9.73 times per game, 10.35 on the road. Number 2 is Merrill Kelly at the Angels, but he does have a calf problem. Angels strike out 9.7 times per game, 9.64 at home. Number 3 is Ryan Pepio at Boston. Boston strikes out 9.02 times per game, 8.08 at home. Number 4 is Shoto Amanaga. Amanaga at the Yankees. The Yankees strike out 8.80 times per game, but only 7.94 at home. And then number 5 is Jack Flaherty versus Seattle. Seattle has 8.8 Ks per game, 8.77 on the road. Now, I don't always agree with these, but to reiterate, you've got Nick Martinez. Number 2 is Merrill Kelly. Number 3 is Ryan Pepio. Number 4 is Amanaga. And number 5 is Jack Flaherty. So we got those 5 there. Now we're going to do our Makin Bacon. So if you're here for some sports bets, these are just initial bets. We did have a couple of days ago, someone said they took 4 or 5 of these and cashed like $200 or something like that, which is great. And then in yesterday's video, I noticed that I had 13 comments within like the first 3 minutes of uploading. I'm like, wow, this video's taken off. It wasn't. It was spam. And then they had like a set of like 11 fake spam accounts all made in June of 2025 to try to push people towards a Telegram or a Discord. Now, we have our own Discord. The only Discord we have is in the description of this video. Do not follow any Discords or Telegrams in the comment section. Those are not us. I reported all of those accounts. If you see spam accounts like that, report them. And you could tell they're like, oh, thanks, Mr. Harry, for giving me blah, blah, blah. Oh, you won all this money. No, you did not. Okay, so bases. Looking at this, Alejandro Kirk, number 1. Now, I'll tell you, you can parlay some of these together. I wouldn't parlay all of them together. And on top of this, we have other sports bets under the MLB tab all the way at the bottom to look at as well. So, Alejandro Kirk, number 1 versus Springs. Number 2 is Bo Bichette versus Springs. 3 is Josh Lowe versus Bayo. 4 is Bobby Witt Jr. versus Clay Holmes / Shamania / whoever the bullpen guy is. Number 5 is Austin Hayes versus Austin Gomber. 6 is Vladdy versus Springs. 7 is Tyler Freeman versus Nick Martinez. 8 is Jose Ramirez versus Aaron Savale. 9 is Stephen Kwan versus Aaron Savale. And finally, 10 is Christian Yelich versus Jake Irvin. So we have 10 there. Now you can do over under 1.5 bases. You can do 1+ RBIs. You could even do 1+ hits, runs, RBIs, depending on which book you have and if your book offers some of those markets there. And then strikeouts. You can parlay some of these. You can alt some of these lines as well. Hunter Brown, 6+ strikeouts is what I would target. Nick Pivetta, 6+ strikeouts. Yuri Perez, 6+ strikeouts. Ryan Pepio versus Boston, 6+ strikeouts there. Jack Flaherty versus the Mariners, 6+ strikeouts. Evaldi, 6+, and Logan Gilbert, 6+ strikeouts as well. So all of those, you could look at 6+. You could find lines, maybe go down to 5+ if you want to get a little bit crazy, especially if you're going to parlay like 5 of them together for the last bets of the day for you before the All-Star game. So hopefully this video found you doing very well. Like I said, FTA Plus is $10 for the week. Just to kind of show you, you got our odds, our matchup tool. We got projections for both Fanduel and DraftKings, simulations, BVP, which is exactly it. So the BVP, the batter splits, those are all just free content for you. The chalk, if you're playing cash, you want to go more for chalk. If you're playing tournaments, you want to fade that chalk. That's part of it. Ballpark factors are free. I'm going to get rid of the umpire factors. People aren't using it. They're not even looking at the page, looking at the stats on it. So I'm going to get rid of that. Bullpen stats are free. The prop bets are part of FTA Plus. So just kind of show you what the cheat sheet is from Saturday. So it's not updated yet. This is Saturdays. I'm going to show you. We got cash. We got tournament plays. The problem is it can't be integrated in like our simulations and projections because of how it is. So what I'll tell everyone, sign up, come to here, go down to this little square right here and open it into a full page. There's just so much data. It's very hard. And some of that we have kind of the same thing with some of the NFL content until I can get it broken into like readable, like I haven't found a way to integrate it in the site yet. But looking at this, you see we've got upwards of 6 to 7 players at each position for cash, 6 to 7 at each position for tournaments. We got stacks. So stacks here, we got the player or the pitcher who we want to stack against, the percentage of ownership of stacks, and then some of the batters in those stacks. Then we've got the ownership overall for every player for Fanduel and DraftKings. We got weather if you want to check it out. That helps out. We got early DraftKings and Fanduel lineups, which we don't have early. Main slate, we have it here. DraftKings, we have it here. And boomstick shots, home run picks, if there are certain ones we want to look at. So that is what I've got. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, definitely let us know. We've got a ton of information on the website for you under the MLB tab. Today we also have NASCAR, which you can find once it's... NASCAR is usually updated by like 10 a.m. On Sundays or Saturdays if it's a Saturday race. PGA Thursdays and MMA normally are on Saturdays as well. So that's what I've got for you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, get those down below. Those lineups that we have, the optimal lineups, they're a great starting point. They are not an end-all, be-all type of starting point. So don't just take the lineup, copy, paste it, and that as it. Make a little bit of your own. For $10 a week, I don't think you can find a better value DFS-wise. If you want to ask anyone if it's worth it, you can ask down below. Let's have a great last Sunday of the first half. It's a longer video. Let's get that watch time up. If you guys can't afford to tip us, if you can't afford to sign up for FTA Plus, all you can do is subscribe, hit the bell notification, like these videos, and watch the entire video a couple of times a day for that watch time. That's all I ask. So we bring a ton of information for you. We are halfway through, which means I'm going to start looking into NFL, fantasy football, DFS, or even looking at getting a league going. So I'll do a separate video on that probably sometime this week just to gauge your guys' interest to see if that's something you would be interested in. So that is what I've got for you. Good luck today, and as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!